Oh, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gary with another Fan TV, man. Back action on the video. Like the content of this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Like the content of this channel, go ahead and subscribe, man. Look, so let's talk about the fact that the Ravens are being disrespected by, you know, the national media. Whoever you want to talk about picking these games, the Ravens are being disrespected. Okay, I did a video yesterday, right? I didn't put it out nothing like that because I didn't really like what I was saying, right? I was like, oh yeah, the Ravens might be disrespected, but who cares, right? You know what I mean? You know, you gotta go out there and play the game. While that is true, it's kind of getting to another level, right? So now, Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, said that the 49ers are going to kick the ish out the Ravens, right? Like it's not even going to be close, right? I see 49ers fans online. Now listen, there's idiots in every fan base, so picking out a couple of 49ers people online that's saying that they're saying this and that, obviously is not a representation of the whole fan base, right? So I'm not even trying to get into that, but oh yeah, you know, we're going to score 42. Score will be like 42-24, you know, 42-17. Like, you know, we just like they just going to like Florio said, they just going to kick the ish out the Ravens, right? And I just don't see that, right? Now the 49ers lost games earlier this year, right? To the Browns, to the Bengals. Now they can say they had injuries at this time. Everybody has injuries, you know, it's a part of the game. Still lined up to play. To my knowledge, Brock Purdy has started every single game this year, right? He was out there. All right, so that's the MVP, right? You know, that's the MVP favorite. You had your MVP out there, right? Okay. So when games that those guys missed, you know, Brock Purdy lost those games, right? When Lamar Jackson is without Mark Andrews, we still haven't lost yet, right? So this is where the MVP candidacy for Brock Purdy, is like, I don't want to say it's flimsy because he's a good player. He's putting up numbers. He has over 3,700 yards this year, which is second. He has 29 touchdown passes, which is first. You know, I'm doing the well, really, I just recorded the game preview video. Y'all won't see it till tomorrow. But you know, I'll talk about that in there, right? You know, listen, he has solid numbers. He has good numbers, right? But at the end of the day, is he that guy, right? That's what it comes down to. Is like with Brock Purdy, I think he's having a good year. I think he runs the Shanahan scheme probably the best that Shanahan has had since Matt Ryan, right? You know, when Matt Ryan was an MVP that year, right? You know, just how Brock Purdy could be an MVP this year, right? So, you know, he's doing that at a very, very high level, you know, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from him, right? But the consensus around the league that the Ravens are just going to lose this game, that the 49ers are just so much further and far beyond the best team, I just don't see that. Because earlier this year, literally earlier this season, you know, I listened to the sports talk show, I listened to the sports podcast, there was questions about whether or not, you know, well, is Brock Purdy just another guy, this and that, like, you know, is this 49ers team not good, right? This was happening earlier this year, right? So same season now, they're the unstoppable force. I just don't see that, right? Now for the Ravens, they hear this. I know they hear it because Roquan Smith is one of those guys who looks for slights, he looks for motivations, he looks for people talking down to him to motivate him, right? Excuse me. Last week, Jaguars game, right? Apparently, maybe the Jaguars had a sign in a locker room or something like that. I listened to the Ravens Lounge podcast, right? And it had something about stop the bully or beat a bully this week or something like that, right? And Roquan Smith apparently heard that, right? Or somebody got back to him and told him. He found out about it. Either way, however it happened, he used that as motivation. And after the game, was talking about how, yeah, you know, we were the bully tonight, right? So when I see these things about, you know, 49ers are going to win, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be an easy game, it's whatever. This Ravens defense hears that, right? Kyle Hamilton talked about, you know, he's feeling disrespected by it. So, now one guy, Lamar Jackson, he locked in. You know, people trying to say, I think a reporter asked him, well, how do you feel about this being a potential Super Bowl preview and things like that? And Lamar really didn't want to hear it, right? He was more like, listen, man, the Super Bowl's in February. This game right here, right now, is in December, right? So we focus on this one right now. We gotta, you know, play well to get to that game in the future, right? And he's right? But I know Lamar Jackson hears it. I know he does, because he's the kind of guy, kind of similar to Roquan, where these kind of slights, these kind of people talking about him, he takes that personal, right? So think back to not even that long ago, right? I mean, think of Lamar Jackson's MVP season, right? He has the great game versus Miami Dolphins, right? What does he say to the press conference? Not bad for a running back, right? You know what I mean? So Nobody brought it up to him. You know what I mean? He saw the jokes online. Not bad for a running back, right? So to me, it's the same kind of motivation, right? You know, this is the team where they are the favorites right now. They are the quote unquote best team in the NFL, and the Ravens feel like, well, no, I think we're the best team in the league, right? And the Ravens have a right to feel that way because of how they play throughout the year. I mean, the Ravens have, you know, I guess a lot of teams say they feel like they should be undefeated, but you know, it's hard to really look at the Ravens' losses and be like, yeah, that team beat the Ravens, right? You know, so a lot of times the Ravens lost, 3 times the Ravens lost this year. It's like the Ravens had a lot of self-inflicted things they did to themselves that caused them to lose those games down the line, right? Excuse me. But at the end of the day, right, the disrespect, all the outside noise, kind of go back to my original point, right? No, does it matter? Not really, because you still have to line up and play the game, right? You know what I mean? So, will the Ravens use Mike Florio and guys like that as motivation? Maybe, hopefully, right? Because this game, while all the games matter, right? But if the Ravens were to lose this game to the 49ers, it is an NFC opponent. They still play the Dolphins down the line. If they beat the Dolphins, beat the Steelers, you probably still get the number 1 seed, right? So it's not like if they lose this game, they lose the 1 seed. Hold on one second. It's not like they're going to lose the 1 seed, but you still want to go out there and have one of your best performances because it's way too much doubt and way too much certainty that the 49ers are going to win this game to me, it should be a lot closer, right? I think the spread, I talked about it before. I think it's like a touchdown, right? 5.5 points, 6 points, right? So to me, that's kind of disrespectful. That's too far. I don't care that the Ravens are traveling on Christmas, playing in San Francisco, right? Lamar Jackson's record, it's a real thing, is like what now? 20-1 versus the NFC. It's a real thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as much as you want to say it's different teams, this and that, listen, he's beat the 49ers before. Has he beat this version of the 49ers? Of course not. You know, teams are different every year. But he's beat the 49ers before. So it's not going to be anything new or different to him, right? For this team, for this game, I'm very, very excited. To me, this is two bullies going at it, right? The Ravens, like the bully teams offensively and defensively. Now, the Ravens have a better passing game per se this year and things like that, but they still want to run the football at you, right? The Ravens defense prides themselves in hitting hard, bringing you to the ground, and playing that physical way. The 49ers on the other side of the ball, 49ers run the ball a lot, right? The 49ers run the ball almost, hold on, I got the number right here. 49ers almost run the ball 30 times a game, which is about 6 in the NFL. So they want to get after it. They want to get after you that way as well. They're averaging about 140 yards on the ground this year. So with Christian McCaffrey, their O-line, with Kyle Shanahan calling the scheme, who's always believed in running the football, they want to get after you like that, right? Then when they get the ball into the playmakers' hands, Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, they're not going down easy. You have to fight to get these guys to the ground, so they play with the attitude. On the other side of the ball, same thing with Fred Warner and all the guys, Nick Bosa, that they have. So it's going to be a fun game, a really physical game, but I think the fact that the Ravens are being disrespected, it has gone too far. The Ravens have typically played better when they are the underdog, right? And do I love the underdog mentality? Not all the time. I think the Ravens are getting to a point where it's like, you know, you are one of the best teams in the league, right? So you should be like, that attitude of like, you know, we're better than you. Let's go out there and win this game, right? You know what I mean? Don't always look for to be the underdog to be the motivation, right? But even with that being said, it's gone too far this week, right? So if you need to use that underdog to be the motivation, go out there and win the game, man, because disrespect has gone entirely too far. All right, so that's my thoughts on, you know, Ravens versus 49ers this week, man. You know, leave me your thoughts, comments. You know, I reply to all comments, man. So I'm going to get out of here. It's Gabriel, to another Fan TV. I'm out.